let's kind of begin with a welcome. And you might have been able to see some information on social media. So we're going to continue to use social media as much as we can as we go through the season. So players, we encourage you to be active if you do have permission on the social media platforms that we have, and we do try to tag you individually and as a club as well. So my name is Dina Gentili, and I was with Impact as we launched our new league in the spring as the director of college events and programming. And I transitioned into the president's role for the start of this season. And Mike Kersker, who is part of Aztec, was our president last year and did a phenomenal job launching our league along with all of the founding clubs that you see listed here. So that was a starting point for us in the spring. Many of you on this call, because I recognize some of your names, took part in founding this league, and you were trailblazers along with all of the club directors and coaches that were involved. We have grown. So we have the opportunity now to welcome Bolts West, FC Stars, and we have Aztec New Hampshire and Aztec North also joining us as the New England Impact MPL. It's really an exciting time to be part of this league. Hopefully you can learn about through this presentation what we did in the spring and all of the opportunities that will exist for you as players on and off the field as we start to get into the fall season. What I want to do just is to highlight what we are all about. So my background, just so newer folks know, I played college soccer. I'm from Long Island, New York. I played college ball at Adelphi University. I went on to coach at Springfield College as an assistant coach and also got my master's degree, and then went on to Endicott College to build their soccer program, to build their athletic program, because at the time we were an all-women's school, and then also to develop their sport management program. So I've always been involved with the social piece, always been involved with academics, and always been involved with soccer. I also was a club director at Benfica when we were growing that program as well. And then I have 2 children, and I took a break from coaching. And then this opportunity developed, and I could not pass it up, and I'll tell you why. It was because of the engagement piece and the opportunity for me to link with families and to link with players and to also work with so many different clubs. And that's really a unique position that I've never been in, and I'm looking forward to continuing to build this league even further. So we have 4 core values here at Impact: pride, empowerment, legacy building, and inspirational change. All of these values are interwoven in everything that we do as a league. The pride piece happens with your team, on the field, off the field, all of the team building that you do. And I want to display as much as that and showcase and highlight as much as that as I can on social media. The empowerment piece, legacy building piece, inspirational change would happen definitely with your club, but happens at a larger scale with all of the offerings that we have from the league. So all of the guest speakers that we bring on, all of the panels that we have, all of the folks that are speaking to our players and families know our core values. They're handpicked. They are people that I have heard speak, worked with, or know that they are transformational in the programming that they would bring to us. They are professionals in what they do, and they do believe that everything that we are doing as a league is a model for other leagues to kind of look at and say, hey, maybe we shouldn't be including these things, but we are really at the forefront of something different in youth sport and in building ideals that people talk about, but at Impact, we do it. We do what we say. We do all of these things, all of these values, again, are incorporated into all of our offerings. So it's really an exciting time to be part of what we are doing. I just want to bring up what we did in the spring and also kind of let you know that these are, again, some of the activities that you will be hearing about. So there's a lot of information that we're trying to build behind the scenes and eventually transmit and share with all of the coaches and players. So we organized an Impact College Coach Clinic in the spring. And what this was is we asked our Impact leagues to identify the college coaches who are part of their coaching staff to run training sessions for our players. And the sessions on the field were a simulation of what it would be like if you were somebody who was in high school looking to be recruited and seen by college coaches. This is the type of programming that we put together for our players. So the college coaches ran sessions just like they would have on their own college campus or at a college showcase. And we put our players in situations where they had to act, react, feel nervous, because you always feel nervous when you're playing in front of someone you don't know, especially a college coach. It could be a little bit intimidating. These are the things that we want our players to experience. So when they are at the colleges of their choice, they have already been through that pressure. They already know this is what I can expect. This is how I can interact with a college coach. So all of those things are very important to us here at Impact, to show you the pathway to college. Whether you play college ball or not is not even part of the discussion. Part of the discussion is understanding the opportunities that exist for you to be at the next level, first for academics and second as a college athlete potentially. So what we did was we also added virtual sessions to complement before our players were at this college coach clinic to prepare them. And we ran some mental preparedness sessions. We talked a lot about sports psychology, how to conduct yourself, and we ran some panels where we invited some first-year college players who are alums of our clubs to speak to some of our younger players actually about what they should be doing and what mindset that they should have as they look to navigate the next steps of their progression. My favorite event of last year was our mixed club event. So this is where we brought all of our age groups together we had 2 fields going on, but what we did was we mixed the players. So every team that we had there, people didn't know who was going to be next to them or who they were going to be playing with. So it wasn't one team, club team playing together. It was all of the players coming together and been randomly assigned to a team. And what we did here is we also invited college coaches to come watch this event. So for our older players, we had kind of like a mini college showcase that we're looking to build on for this year as well. So there were players who were able to play in front of college coaches. They were leading up to this event, were with me looking at building letters to send to coaches. So how do you email a college coach? What are some of the things that goes into contacting college coaches? When do you contact college coaches? So we kind of led the actual on the field event with a lot of Zoom sessions to prepare you so that you understood the whole college process. And our younger players were there as well. And I know a lot of times parents think, well, talking about college and my player's only in 7th grade, 8th grade. It's very important for families to understand that the college planning process starts now, because when you are asked to select courses for 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, all of those things are really building blocks and also prerequisites when you get placed into a certain math class or a certain advanced placement class. You want to make sure you have the foundation in place to take advantage of those courses. So that puts you in a better place when you're looking to apply and be admitted to the colleges of your choice. And it's not a given that you get into every college you want to go to. So we try to help you understand that. We have a lot of college-oriented and alumni panels as well. So I did mention we had some student athletes who were first-year students come and speak to our players. And again, they were first-year students during a pandemic, which was unique, but it also gave them a chance to kind of explain what it was like to go through the recruiting process. We talk a lot about college here, and we do make sure that we always have in mind, well, what kind of careers do exist out there in the world for me? And it's never too early to start talking about, what do you like to do? Do you like to write? Great. Here are some opportunities for you. And all of these things come out in our Zoom sessions with the professionals that we bring here, because they know we're trying to tie in. Definitely the soccer piece is our highlighted piece, but there are other things that can build off of the soccer piece to build us as a total student athlete. And then the community impact piece is important for us to build upon. During the pandemic, it was a little bit more difficult to do some of these things, but we want to hear from players who are doing things on their teams or in their communities that are significant and helpful. I saw a hand go up, so if someone has a question, you can unmute yourself. Okay, if maybe it was a thumbs up. All right. Okay, so we are Impact, and we always use kind of the catchphrase, more than a league. So I want to explain to you why we are more than a league. We have the most competitive league for our clubs, for our athletes. We're going to have the training that's high level. We have coaches that are going to definitely build the best players that they build through their training sessions. What we do as a league is we are a league that with your club, so you have the added benefit of all of the resources that that all of these clubs under this league umbrella have. So every tool that an Aztec has, the Bolts are going to be exposed to through this league, as an example. So we work together. So if there's somebody that I would like to have speak to our group and I don't have a contact with them, I'll ask. And then that's how we kind of build the folks who we are exposing to our players. So you'll get tools, resources, opportunities that will build your soccer skill set 100%. You're going to be better soccer players with us. But then there's the other attributes that we think are important too, to build who you are as a student athlete, build who you are as a person, and build all of the characteristics that college coaches are looking for, but also college professors are looking for as well. So we want to try to empower our players to learn through soccer on and off the field. The competitive nature of our program is great. We had our Impact Cup last year, and then teams went off to compete at the next level in Colorado. This is a picture of our South Shore Select 2004 team. We had our Bayside FC 06 girls, and then we had our 2007 Aztec girls compete at the NPL finals, which was great. And then our Aztec 2008 Impact team actually ended up being national champions, winning the US Club Soccer National Cup. So in terms of the pathway on the field, these are just some highlighted examples of our league really being represented at the national stage, which is terrific. If you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself or add something in the chat. We do have our September 11th fall kickoff. The date obviously is a special date in this country. What we will be doing on this date, and I already have 2 volunteers. So I have 2 players who have committed to singing the national anthem for us. So if you are interested, we could use a couple of more players who would like to sing the national anthem. What we will be doing at everyone's first game is we will have a moment of silence followed by the national anthem. This is the 20th anniversary of September 11th. And also given some of the concerns in Afghanistan, and we've lost some of our American heroes, it's a good time to have a moment of silence and some tributes to our fallen heroes. So the fall kickoff schedule will be shared, and your coaches already have that, but we're in Lancaster, and we have fields that are all close to each other in close proximity. What we will be doing as part of our inspirational change initiative is we're asking players and teams to collect school supplies. We're going to have a school supply drive to benefit members of the YMCA of Metro North. The CEO of the Y is actually a good friend of mine who also wants to be part of our speaker series. and has offered our players community service opportunities as well. So these are some of the things that we can take advantage of as a league. We will also have merchandise set up during our games. So if players are interested in buying some apparel with our Impact logo on there, that will be something that's available. We also have Just for Kicks Boston, which is a physical therapy entity, and they will have recovery tents set up for our players. So I encourage our players to go kind of check out what Just for Kicks Boston has to offer. They were actually our sponsor for our Mixed Club event, providing the t-shirts that you see. And Dr. Julie Hubbard will be there, and she actually spoke to our group in the spring. And I asked her actually to speak about majors that are under the sports sciences and physical therapy, exercise science, and even rehabilitation. So our players get a little bit more than just going to the recovery tent. This will be kind of an educational piece as well. We also have coming up, and I typically I'll probably add one more Zoom in between the September 20th and the October 25th, but we have a good friend of mine from One-on-One College Consulting, and she's going to be speaking to us about college preparation. So especially for our groups, the U13s, U14s, what should we be doing now? And for the older players as well, what's the expectation of a college search? What should you be looking at? What are the criteria that you should be thinking about? And this leads to the classes, the courses you should be taking now as middle school students into your freshman year, and also touching upon a little bit about what you can do for a career exploration. So again, college might seem far away, but it's not, because everything we do now is a building block for the opportunities that will exist for us in high school, and then also ultimately what we're putting on our college application. Christine Lilly, who is a soccer legend, came to speak to our group through Zoom in the spring as well. She was fantastic. She has a book called Powerhouse. This is our first Impact book club. So our players, and you can see the information there, and we will send it out to you again. But if you want to purchase the book, you can email Christine Lilly to do that, and then she'll return on October 25th. Whether you read the book or not, don't worry. But if you have questions for Christine Lilly or want to hear her story, she has so many. She's truly inspirational. I encourage you all to join us. And again, you'll get all of this information sent out to you. So I hope today you understand what we are. We're a high-level soccer league with the best coaches, best training environments, competitive play, and then some. And the then some is all about the connections that we all are making with one another, the connections I'm making with parents who might have opportunities for our players, the connections we're making with each other, new teammates, old teammates, the connections that we're making with other players on other clubs and other teams when we do these mixed club events. The specialized programming will continue to be driven by the needs of our players. So I do hope to start a player committee where we can have some leaders kind of tell me what they're looking for or what their needs are, and we can create programming around that. So in essence, we're a league that shares resources, and with that we share opportunities, and the shared vision piece is huge. We are with like-minded administrators and leaders, which makes this truly a special league to be involved with. So very important to me is our connection and making sure you have all the information. So our website is impactmpl.com. Your schedules are on there, so please spend some time there. Social media, we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I'm very active on Instagram, so please make sure, players, if you do have permission to be on social media, to follow us, tag us, include us in your stories. We love to see ourselves just like you love to see yourselves as well. I also added impactnpl photos at gmail.com. So please, if you can, parents, players, send us game day footage, photos, even kind of the fun stuff before the game and after the game, send it over to us. Just be sure to include your name, your team, and anything else that you want us to put up there for social media. So I know I spoke a lot and I went through a lot of information. So I do hope you feel the same excitement that I do about this league and everything that we get to offer to our players. We are, again, in a very busy time in the calendar with the start of school and the start of different, soccer training and tournaments. So please, does anyone have any comments, feedback that you would like to insert and add here so that I'm not doing all the talking? Even some of the administrators, coaches who are part of our programming in the spring, if you want to add anything to this. Are we that shy today? I'll give you something though, is that I love that we have a lot of faces here. So a lot of times when we have our guest speakers players, just so you know, they'll say, I need to see your faces. So you need to get ready for that. Okay, the second piece is when somebody asks a question and they're a guest speaker, they want an answer. So you need to be ready, okay? So just like you're on the field and your coach will ask something and you need to be responsive. This is the same kind of training off the field here. So we want to hear from you. So parents, players, any questions, or do you need more information about anything? Gosh, we're shy. So I have a question in the chat. So we are playing games on Saturday. And so if you go on our schedule, there was a little bit of a glitch. I know myself as a parent, I always want to get the schedule before the coach sends me the schedule. But just note, there was a glitch last week. So the schedule is up now. So we are playing between the hours of 1:30 and 7 o'clock on September 11th. So your coaches will send you the final schedule. That's when you know you're ready to go, okay? So sometimes I know we go on early as parents just to see what we're doing. But we are Saturday for the fall season. That's correct, Drew. Anybody else a question? Gosh, am I that good that I covered that much stuff? Okay, I'm glad I'm good. So listen, we have a job to do, players. So some of you are starting this week, your first day of school. Some of you are starting next week. Remember, it's very important for you to build who you are in the classroom and on the soccer field. So when you're in student mode, you're in student mode 100%. When you're in soccer mode, you're in soccer mode 100%. Those are the things that we ask of you as impact players. So take advantage of your opportunities in school too. There might be a club that you can join, a yearbook club, an art club. These are the building blocks that help you for the next level of high school and in college. I was shy once too. I just want everyone to know this isn't really the person I was when I was 13, 14, 15, even 16, okay? But little by little, I chipped away. And that's what we ask you to do. Little by little, we ask you to chip away to be a leader on the field. And little by little, we ask you to chip away as leaders in the classroom and in the clubs that you're involved with. Okay, so the bigger the list of things that you do, the more people you meet and the more opportunities that are created for you. So you have to kind of get outside your comfort zones. What I ask you to do quite a bit. Okay, and be involved as much as you can to learn from so many other people. I will be there on September 11th. I'm going to say hi to every single person I see. Okay, so when I come up to you and say hi, okay, don't freak out. That's who I am. Okay, and I hope you come say hi to me as well and tell me how you're doing. Any other questions, folks, before I let you go? All right, so have a great start to your soccer year and have an even better start to your school year. Make us proud. Follow us on social media. And if you want to stay on, I'll stay on if anyone has a question that they didn't want to ask in front of the group. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Let's go get them. Make an impact.